Hi everyone, today I'm taking over Angela's channel and flying to New York to get to Yale's Admitted Student Weekend. What is an Admitted Student Weekend? I'll tell you why you'll enjoy some New York City snippets. Essentially, most MBA programs invite their admitted student to visit campus, meet faculty, and especially get to know your future classmates and community. So it's an invaluable chance that I highly suggest doing, especially if you've never visited and you're considering enrolling. In fact, I had a great time, and I could really see that Yale has done a great job in selecting like-minded people coming from around the world and having achieved already great things. So Yale is the only one who offered to pay for a stay in New Haven, which was nice. On top of the different meals and drinks we got to have during the packed 3 days, I also reached out to a couple of students to have a small tour of the SOM, and everything felt modern and super calm. Then I headed to one class on AI, which was super interesting, especially given I want to have a concentration in AI. Classes are normally on 1 hour-ish basis, and they're almost all super intimate, with students bringing their placard to be recognized. And after that, we kicked off with the agenda with a group tour of the whole university campus. We visited dorms, halls, the library, which was gorgeous by the way, and gardens, but it was so cold, so we didn't spend too much time outside. And then we concluded the day with a nice reception at the Peabody Museum, where I met so many new admitted students and their partners, and which was super fun. The next day was really packed. We met Yale's mascot, had a greeting from Bruce Delmonico, who is the assistant dean of admission, had another mock class in economics, met the different student clubs, which, by the way, at Yale you don't have to pay the subscription to enroll. This is not the case for all the MBA programs. That's definitely a great chance to try out hockey, play some tennis and ski, aside from signing up for professional clubs. We also met an alumni of the program who talked about her experience launching and growing her startup and how Yale SOM has supported her throughout the decades. Last but not least, we got split in groups for small dinners at student houses to meet and bond with even more people. And right after that, we headed to the farewell reception where we ate, drank, and danced. At the end, a huge snowstorm decided to hit the East Coast and delayed my flight, so I had a minute to think about the whole experience. And honestly, Yale really surprised me. Overall, it has been a great and invaluable experience. First off, I got to visit one of the best universities in the world. Second, it was a great way to picture myself as a student, live their culture, and see how's life in New Haven. Third of all, I had the chance to meet new students that I know I'll keep on hearing from, no matter where they'll decide to go for their MBA. I gotta say, what stood out the most were the incredibly humble and fun people I met. Everyone was super thoughtful, open, and greatly curious to get to know me, which I guess makes sense given the SOM whole mission. The campus was simply great, which of course I wouldn't expect less from a college like Yale. It felt very intimate, which I really liked. I can totally picture myself spending 2 years here, walking to class, grabbing coffee with classmates, and just simply being part of Yale. I might not be a huge fan of New Haven, but the tight-knit community I'd get here would definitely outweigh that. So overall, this weekend definitely made Yale a very strong contender for me. Up next, I'll be heading to Chicago to see what both Boots and Kellogg's weekends are like. So if you're curious to see what's next, stay tuned. Ciao!